Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of UA Eats. I'm UA, and we are still in Western New York. Yesterday we were in Rochester, New York, and we got a garbage plate. Today we're in Buffalo, New York. You know, Buffalo, home of the Bills, gateway to Canada. The reason why we're out here is because we specifically made a trip out here from Rochester because I've always wanted to try buffalo wings at the source. I've always wanted to try real buffalo wings, and I hear that buffalo wings are way better in Buffalo than they are outside. And yeah, since, you know, when in Rome, we're here. So I hear this might not necessarily be the best place for buffalo wings, but this is the place that invented them. We're at the famous Anchor Bar, the place that created the buffalo wings originally. Now, the Anchor Bar has been around since, looking at the sign up there, since 1935. And even today, they're still plugging themselves primarily as the home of the original buffalo wing. And yeah, I don't know if this is the best place for a buffalo wing in town, but I mean, I'm an out-of-towner, so what do I know? I don't necessarily know what the best place is. I hear Duff's is supposed to be pretty good, I hear, but you know what? I definitely want to try the original. So I guess this is potentially like the Pat's/Geno's of Buffalo, New York, but I mean, I'm sure it's going to be better than buffalo wings outside of Buffalo at least, so let's check it out. So they actually have the a picture of the person who created the buffalo wings here, Teresa Bellissimo, it looks like. And they have the story here. I've heard the story before, although this looks like a slight variation of it, but this is the source, so I'm sure this story is the accurate one. Yeah, the one that I heard of how buffalo wings were invented was that people came as the restaurant was about to close and they didn't have much left except for hot sauce and butter, so she threw that together with like fried wings, and hence buffalo wings were invented. It looks like this story is slightly more nuanced, slightly more detailed. But yeah, I mean, if this is how they say it went down, then I'm sure that's how it went down. So anyways, let's check it out. This is Teresa Bellissimo, I guess. Hello. I'll take 2 orders, please. Alright guys, so we are now inside of the Anchor Bar, the famous Anchor Bar. Like I said, the originator of the buffalo wing, although from Philly, I know that the places that originated the Philly cheesesteak for our equivalent of the Anchor Bar, Pat's and Geno's, back in Philly, everyone knows that those are not the best places. So here, I presume it might be similar, but hey, you know, I'm an out-of-towner and what do I know? And no matter what, I want to try a piece of history, so I'm excited for this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to try the original buffalo wing. Yeah, the inside, it's a nice bar on the inside, really, really well decorated. It's actually really spacious. Like it kind of just looks like your typical sports bar, like your typical well-decorated and like, cozy, homey sports bar, but it's a really well-decorated place. And, you know, aside from the history, I feel like this would be a fun place just to hang out in general. So, but anyways, let's take a look at the menu real quick. Since 1935, so this place, I guess, coming up on 90 years. And yeah, they're plugging their buffalo wings front and center. We definitely are going to get some of those for sure while we are here. We're definitely going to get buffalo wings in Buffalo. You best believe it. Get it? Believe, like the Buffalo Bills. All right. Anyways, yeah, actually relatively small menu. Not small, I think it's the perfect size. I've said this before, I don't like when menus are too big. Jack of all trades, master of none. We've already went through the original story of how Teresa Bellissimo invented these, so let's just skip right ahead. And yep, right on the left. The left side, because English speakers read left to right, the left side is where people's eyes fall first, so that's why they're putting their wings right on the left so that we look at them first. Anchor Bar's world famous wings. All of our wings are served with traditional celery and blue cheese, so no ranch, just like they were served back in 1964. We only use unsaturated 0-gram trans fat. Guessing that's good. 0 grams of trans fat. Okay, gonna take their word for it. And while they got boneless, they got both boneless and they have traditional wings. We gotta go with traditional since while I do love a boneless wing, when it comes to meats in general, chicken, beef, whatever, something is just lost when you don't have that bone. So we're gonna go with some traditional wings. And we're just gonna do the traditional here, the original medium sauce. So we'll do an order of that. That work for you, Tina?
That's the original, right?
That's what it says on the menu. It says that's the original.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
I'm eyeing for this because it has like a little mark and it says this is their signature.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Maybe the tenders are like buffalo wing sauce tenders. Sounds good. When I was in college, the dining hall where I went to school had some amazing buffalo wing chicken tenders. And they were good even in my college dining hall, so I bet they're gonna be good here. So good choice, Tina. But yeah, just gonna show you what else they got here. Pizza logs. I guess those are sort of like pizza egg rolls kind of, which sounds delicious if you ask me. And then otherwise they got all sorts of other random appetizers, jalapeno poppers, sampler platters, hot peppers and whatnot, salads and soups. I hear they have a buffalo wing, like a buffalo wing flavored soup. I hear is kind of nice. It might be this spicy hot chicken soup, but maybe we will save that for next time. And then yeah, they got random other typical bar fare, some chicken tenders and things. They got pizza at the bottom, which I hear their pizza solid. Pastas and things like that, burgers and subs and sandwiches and whatnot. But you know what? I think we're gonna do this for the second sandwich. Aside from Tina's potential buffalo wing flavored tenders, I hear that when you're in Buffalo, you got to go with a beef on WECK sandwich. Now, this is essentially, my understanding is it's essentially a roast beef sandwich, thinly sliced and served on a roll called a Weck roll. Hence why it's called a beef on WECK. A Weck roll, I believe, is some sort of a Austrian or German type of roll. So I guess kind of like a Kaiser roll, I guess. Although if it's German, indeed, Weck, beef on WECK, it should be a beef on Weck, right? It should be a Weck. It shouldn't be a beef on WECK, right? But I think technically it's supposed to be Volkswagen. It's not supposed to be Volkswagen, but all right, now I'm just being a stickler. So let's order. And by the way, I'm out of towner, so I might be saying it wrong. Back in Philly, people say like Philly cheesesteak, but in Philly, nobody actually calls it a Philly cheesesteak. People just say cheesesteak. So I'm presuming it might be similar here. Maybe nobody says buffalo wing here. They probably say just wing, I'm presuming. So anyone who's from the area and who's watching and getting, shaking your fist, getting offended by my lack of knowledge, just bear with me, being upfront about my potential knowledge limitations. So let's order. All right, we're ready.
All righty, so I'd like to hear.
Excellent. So of course we're gonna do an order of the wings. And we're from out of town, so they don't say buffalo wings here. They just say wings, right?
Yeah. Just, you want the traditional, right?
Yeah, the traditional, yep. That's the medium original, is that what it is?
So the traditional is just like the wing style, but these are just going to be all your flavors. The medium is our original. That basically is, what made us what we are today. But if you like other flavors, you can choose out of any flavor right here.
Medium original.
Yeah.
Go with that.
Can't go wrong with that.
Sounds good. And then, what were you going to get?
The ankle bar chicken tenders.
Yeah.
I want a dry rub.
Buffalo dry rub, yeah.
And also, what is this?
Yeah.
So it is like chicken enchilada.
Want to try it? Yeah. And I also want to try the beef on Wick.
And do you like any cheese on that?
Oh, do people typically get cheese on it?
People typically don't. I like cheese on it just because it adds that extra little flavor to the beef on Wick. But usually people just get it plain. But if you like cheese on it, nothing wrong with that.
No cheese.
Alrighty, and then there's French fries okay as a side. You can't get like sweet potato waffle fries, coleslaw, potato salad.
Fries are good.
Fries? Alrighty. And did you want the au jus sauce on the side?
Yes.
Would that be it?
That'll be it.
Alrighty, sounds good, guys. I'll get that ready for you, alright?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, looking forward to that. We got a bunch of stuff, so. And Tina actually got the buffalo dry rub, so should be a good time. Okay, so the first item has arrived, the soup. I think this is a chicken enchilada soup, and it's looking like a pretty solid soup, you know? It's nice and hot and piping. It's actually not too cold today in Buffalo. You know, it was actually much colder in Rochester yesterday. Not too chilly, but still, this hot soup will be welcome. And this chicken enchilada soup looks like it's chock full of flavor, chock full of beans and things and whatnot, and spices. So let's try this. Ooh, look at all the ingredients in this guy. I thought it was gonna be like a thinner soup actually at first. So let's try a spoonful of this before the wings come. That is an excellent soup. Let me break it down. It doesn't just taste like a generic, like Mexican, generic Tex-Mex flavored, Mexican flavored soup. That's kind of what I was expecting. It really does taste like an enchilada. Like everything from the beans, which kind of tastes like beans that might be inside it, or the beans and rice that come on the side, the corn, the bits of chicken, the flavoring of the soup. Like it kind of tastes like that Mexican, like not only spiciness, but also like that creaminess, like that you get from like Mexican, like cheesy, delicious, creamy, cheesy, spicy dishes. Really, like all the ingredients taste vibrant and fresh, and the dish looks colorful, and it doesn't just taste like a generic Mexican soup or stew. It really does taste like a chicken enchilada. So this is nothing to do with wings or anything, but we're off to a great start so far. By the way, they have all sorts of interesting decorations on the wall, like newspaper clippings and autographs and things like that, but I found it interesting here from this Durkee food service group, 1979. They got like a letter here thanking them, it seems, for inventing buffalo wings. So talking about how excited they are for their amazing food innovation and their use of the red hot sauce. Thank you.
Buffalo dry rib tenders with coleslaw.
Oh, they smell great.
Beef on Wick. Last but not least, you always need the au jus.
Thank you. All right, we have gotten all our food, and yeah, it's quite a bit, but we might be able to finish most of it. And Tina got some dry rubbed buffalo chicken tenders there. They almost kind of look like Nashville hot chicken, you know, with a dry rub. So, Tina, feel free to eat those to your heart's delight. There is our beef on Weck. I think some people call this a beef on Wick, I believe, but you know, probably just minor pronunciation differences. On a German salted roll, it looks like, with some other seeds on it, I believe, and the roast beef within it. Definitely gonna take a bite out of that later and dip it in that delicious jus in the middle. But most importantly, we gotta try what we came here for. The buffalo wings. Guessing this chipped bowl is for the bones. So I'm gonna place this here and check out these delicious wings. They look delicious and they smell delicious. I'm not sure how it looks in the camera to you guys, especially through the phone camera. It's possible they just look like normal wings to you guys, but if you were here with me, you would see that the way these wings are sauced, they have like a really special glisten to them. Like the way the light catches them, they look more like vibrant, more shiny than any buffalo wings I've ever seen. Not sure if that is going to reflect how they're going to taste, but they just look absolutely delicious. So let's just dive right in. Which wing do we want? I don't know. Can't tell. Don't know which one we're gonna get. Maybe this one? Yeah. Ooh, and they're crispy on the outside. I was expecting them to feel more soft, like when touching them. Who knows, maybe I just haven't had really good wings before, but these are super crispy. All right, our first ever real buffalo wing here in Buffalo, New York. So at the home where they were invented. Sorry if it kind of gets over my face and hands during this vid, but that's just how buffalo wings are. It's a good wing. It's a really, really well deep fried wing. Like, kind of like I said, I don't know how I'm going to be able to show you, especially since these wings are not breaded. They're just deep fried, I think just thrown straight into the fryer. But the way they're deep fried, like just thrown right into the fryer without breading or anything, like the skin on the outside has gotten nice and crispy. I don't know how else to show you. You're just going to have to take my word for it, especially since parts of it, as you can see, are more crispy than others. But I kind of like that. Like, I kind of like that There's nothing added to it. There's no like breading or flour or anything. The wings themselves are just deep fried. You're just tasting the crispiness of the skin. And I'm just trying to think of ways to show you. I'm trying to think of ways to show you too, but like the chicken is also not overcooked. Like it's not stringy and overcooked. Like it's, here, let me change the angle. Yeah, so hopefully that's a bit of a better angle, but hopefully you can kind of see by that chicken there that like this chicken is well cooked. Like it's cooked to like a good doneness. It's cooked to a good doneness. It's not overcooked. It's not too stringy and dry. So the chicken wing itself tastes great. Like it's cooked to like the perfect temperature, the perfect doneness. For me though, and this might just be me, this might be because we got the medium, we got the, this might be because we got the original flavor, and maybe flavors since then have kind of changed the recipe and amplified the hot sauce flavor. But I feel that at least the original flavor, the original medium buffalo wing flavor, I feel like it could stand to be spicier. Like I feel like the hot sauce proportion could be higher. Like it sort of seems like they just added enough hot sauce to give it like a hint of flavor and to, give it its characteristic buffalo wing, shine and characteristic color. But I do feel like they could be spicier. I mean, I'm at least used to a spicier wing, so. But that might just be me, like ordering the original recipe. Maybe that's how it was back then. So I'm glad I tried this to see like how the buffalo wing has evolved since its inception, 50 or so years ago. Once again though, I just love the crispy skin. Like I love the way they're fried. I love the crispy exterior, and that's my favorite part. I mean, sometimes things don't need to be super fancy to be great. Sometimes they just need to be the wings just thrown into a deep fryer and fried until they're perfect. Sometimes you don't need to do anything, super extra to them. So I like the simplicity of it. Let's try it with some of the blue cheese. There, try it with some blue cheese. All right. It's a good blue cheese for sure. Let me show you. It's a pretty rich and creamy one. Like it's a nice rich one. Probably one of the better blue cheeses I've had, but I prefer not to use it to not cover up the delicious, perfectly fried, crispy texture of the wings, because the blue cheese, like the cold blue cheese, kind of covers up the deep fried skin a little bit. And also any subtle hot sauce, like red hot hot sauce flavor would be covered up by the blue cheese. So me personally, I prefer just to eat them on their own. But
when I was like in college, and sometimes they will host Super Bowl parties, and they will give out free buffalo wings. And I remembering those wings being a little too spicy for me, and it's a little too saucy. But this one, I feel like it's lightly coated, which I like, and it's not very spicy.
You like that it's a little more mild, it's more balanced. I mean, I still like them, don't get me wrong. I just, I'm of a different opinion of Tina. I wish the flavor was a little bit stronger. But the wing itself is great. Like, it's cooked perfectly, I think. Like, it's crispy outside, soft inside.
Yeah, the skin is really good.
Yeah, I love that they're just crispy. And they don't need anything else to be crispy. They don't need flour. They don't need like Korean double breading. It's clearly just the skin on the wing, and they just throw it into the deep fryer. Yeah.
Exactly.
So sometimes that's it. Just simplicity is where it's at. Actually, they're kind of growing on me. I think because they're not too spicy, perhaps Tina agrees with this, because they're not too spicy, like it's easy to eat like a lot of them. It's not like the buffalo wings where like you take them and you feel like you need breaks. Like you need that celery, or at least you need like pieces of pizza to like soak up like the spiciness off your tongue.
You need that blue cheese to balance it out.
Yeah, here the blue cheese is just like it really is like a extra flavor. So anyways, we're gonna try the next thing. Hopefully our hands are sufficiently clean, and it is time for beef on Wack. And this is supposed to be a classic buffalo sandwich, probably as classic as the buffalo wing. And look at this beautiful roast beef sandwich with that salted, seeded, I think what's probably similar to a Kaiser roll. It is German, the German WECK roll, Kimmel WECK roll after all. And hopefully nice and juicy roast beef on the inside. This is almost like a German-Italian beef, sort of in a way, especially since they gave us au jus and everything. So, Kimmel WECK time. Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, living on the prayer. It's good. It's very, very tender on the inside. Like the beef is like so tender, like it kind of like falls apart in your mouth. Although I will say that I think this guy is kind of like unevenly seasoned in a way. Like the inside is like really not much seasoned at all. Like the inside is really quite bland, I would say. And all the salt is on the outside on the bread. So you might think that, you know, the salted bread, that's where you're gonna get all your salt. But I kind of feel like it's a little unbalanced. Like it's kind of overly salted on the outside where you feel like, you know, you're getting really parched eating the bread. And then it gets so salty from the salt directly contacting your tongue, if it makes sense. It kind of overpowers the meat on the inside, so you don't really taste the meat, if that makes sense. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe this is how it typically is. I'm not really a big fan personally. I prefer for the outside to be more bland and the inside to be more salted. I feel like by having the salt on the outside, you contact that salt and then it kind of overshadows everything else. But that's just me. Perhaps dipping it in the jus will help. Dip it in the jus and Okay, so the au jus definitely helps a lot. Like it definitely.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Oh no, you're totally good. Yes, we're good. We're good. Okay, so the au jus definitely helps a lot. Like it's you know, it definitely helps to offset the lack of seasoning on the beef on the inside. So if you eat this sandwich, at least at this establishment, you definitely gotta ask for the au jus if you want like any sort of seasoning or flavoring of the meat on the inside, because the texture's there, but it needs that au jus for flavoring. But I still feel that the bread is overly salted. Like that is like a salt bomb, I think. Like I still feel that's way too much salt on the WECK, and I don't know if that's traditional, I don't know if that's typical, but it's at least not for me either way. So can I try one of those? And lastly, I'm gonna try one of the dry rubbed buffalo tenders, and we're gonna call it a review after this. Look at how hook shaped this is. This almost looks like a, you know, I'm like Captain Hook or something, or like a crab's claw. SpongeBob, it's Mr. Krabs. Anyways, let's take a bite.
And then a joke goes on about.
Ooh. Oh, this one's hotter for sure. Oh, this one's hotter. Ooh. This one's actually just like Nashville hot chicken, only it's like kind of like more buffalo wing flavored. You know, like it's a different spice rub, and I like it. Like I think it's a little hot, but it's like for me this is like the perfect level of heat. Like any you know, spice challenge that I was hoping from the buffalo wings, I'm getting here. So maybe just go with a hotter buffalo wing here, or just go with one of these dry rubbed tenders because they're definitely hotter. And I think with how hot it is, it'll go perfectly with the blue cheese to offset it. So it's like, you know, a spice bomb, but then you're cooling it off at the same time. You know, it's like a, you know, best of both worlds. Yep. Okay, actually, the blue cheese did kind of overpower the spice a little bit towards the end. But these tenders are great. But anyways, guys, I think that's going to be it for this video. So thank you guys so much for watching. And I'm glad I got to come here to Anchor Bar, to a bar that's like 90 years old. And I finally got to eat like the original buffalo wings here. And yeah, I would say for the most part, it was an interesting experience. I know taste is subjective, so luckily we had Tina with us today, and Tina thought that they were great. I felt like I liked everything about them except for they could have had a little bit more heat. They could have been a little bit more spicy, but I'm sure that's just me. I'm sure that's just, you know, maybe I just liked my wings spicier. And yeah, I mean, I did get the original sauce. I mean, I'm sure they had spicier sauces, so trying the original sauce, I can sort of see. Like maybe back then people didn't quite have the spice tolerance they do today, so maybe back then this is more in line with the tastes back then, but I can definitely see how these were a hit. And I can see how they're still a hit today because the wings are cooked perfectly, they're really big and generously sized, and the natural crispy skin on the outside without anything like extra or too contrived or natural to like give them some artificial crunch, and just a more mild sauciness of these wings, it makes eating them a more pleasant experience as opposed to like a spice challenge or something, or something you're gonna regret later in the evening. So anyways, this was a wonderful food journey. I'm finally glad I got to check this off my list, and Yeah, it was definitely a neat experience, and I see why this place was a hit and still is a hit. But what do you guys think? I mean, have you guys had the Anchor Bar original buffalo wings, and what do you think about them? Do you think they live up to your expectations? Do you think they're among the best wings you've had? And if not Anchor Bar, you know, I'm not from here. If not Anchor Bar, where do you think is a better place to get buffalo wings in Buffalo? Let me know in the comments, because great minds eat alike. And as always, if you like my vids, like and subscribe. That way you stay up to date whenever I post another video, and gonna knock out the rest of these for sure. The sandwich, I think I'm gonna go easy on because it is way too salty. So until next time, I'll see you later.